This SaaS just sold for $200 million and they do $64 million per year. All right. That's VWO.com. What they do is that they help you with the split testing. So if you have a website, if you have app, if you have anything digital, right, you want to test what versions do better, then you're going to split test. And VWO is one of the big one in this space. And there's other tools out there like Optimizely, A/B Testy, but VWO is one of the big ones. And they just sold for $200 million. The crazy thing is that they bootstrapped the entire thing, meaning they started from zero with pretty much nothing. All right. They started literally without any VC fund. All right. And they started about 14 years ago. So they did have some early head start. But even today as well, somebody could build a software, and which is what we're working on, which we will talk about in the next video maybe. But VWO, that sold for $200 million. So we're going to talk about exactly how they did it and what we can learn from them. All right. So based on what I see, they basically started back in 2009 and literally with nothing. They started by posting in Hacker News. If you don't know what Hacker News is, it's basically a blog. Mainly developers, they hang out. This is basically a Hacker News, okay? And you can post links, you can talk about different things. And based on what I found, their post on Hacker News went viral. And they made about $4,000 in the first month. Quickly after that, because their software was so good, they started getting more users. And within the 18 months, they were already doing $1 million in revenue. So that was back in 2009. By 2010, by 2011, they were already doing $1 million in year in revenue. But after 7-8 years in 2016 is when they did $1 million in a month after that. And in 2024, they reported that they did $64 million in a year. To tell you what $64 million is, it is basically just 1,000 customers for them. That's just all they have, just 1,000 customers. You may ask why only 1,000 customers? It is because VWO is expensive, okay? It is expensive tool. I personally do pay for VWO and the minimum plan starts at $500, okay? And once you start using the tool, quickly you're gonna get to paying $1,000 to $1,500 a month. At some point, I was paying $2,000 plus a month, okay? So it's not surprised that they have users paying over $1,000 a month. If you have 6,000 customers paying you $1,000 a month, that's $72 million per year. That is a lot, but that is also not a lot at the same time. See, when VWO started, A/B testing was really hard. Internet was still new. There were still new tools being developed, right? Like right now, we have a lot of tools. We maybe have even more tools right now. But back in 2009, there were not that many tools, right? So when VWO came out, it made perfect sense. There were not a lot of options, so they were able to take over the market quickly. But now there is definitely a lot more competition. So here's some of the strategy that work for them. So first of all is the freemium plan. Freemium plan is basically you have a free plan with a premium upgrade. So you use the plan, but you're gonna get a rate limit. So there's going to be something that's going to happen to you and it's going to stop you from using. So there's basically a limit, right? So they had a A/B testing for 50,000 monthly visitors. So if you have anything less than that, you're probably a beginner, you're probably new in the business, so you don't have a lot of traffic, so it doesn't make sense for you to pay. But if you have more than that visitors, right, then you can use VWO. And as you start getting more visitors, you have to upgrade to use it. By the time VWO would already have you as their user, so you would actually like them, you would actually know them, you would actually know how to use the software. So it will be easy for you to upgrade rather than switch to something else. So that is their main marketing strategy. That's how it works. And that's pretty much how I started using VWO as well. The minimum pricing really is $400 something at this moment. But if you want to use their main feature, which is multivariate testing, that will be upward of $700 a month. The next thing that I think that made them get more customer is also their blog. If you were to search for any A/B testing tool or split testing tool in Google, right, you would find VWO everywhere. They, I think, did a fantastic job in Google. So they were able to rank on many places that other competitors maybe were not able to do so. I think VWO has done a fantastic job with their blog and also with their case studies. They also have podcasts. They also have a lot of free tools. So I think they've done a fantastic job in terms of marketing themselves with their content. The other thing that stood out in terms of marketing is their bootstrap nature, right? Being a bootstrap company is that you're always focused on profitability. Whereas many venture-backed companies, they want to raise a lot more money. They want to go from seed round to Series A to Series B to Series C, D, E, F, right? You're always having to raise more money, and you are focused on growth more than the profit, because the profit will come once you achieve a certain amount of growth. The goal is to get an exit for $1 billion, to be that unicorn. But being a bootstrap means you're profitable. You need to be profitable. You don't have any money coming in, so you need to have money to pay for yourself and your developer team. Right? So I think that mentality helped them be here and exist for the 14 years, because that is a lot of time, and they were able to do that because they were profitable. They would not be able to do it if they were not profitable. I also think VWO has pretty good UI. To be honest, as much as I am not a fan of their product itself, but I think they make it easier to use the product. There is a lot of things that could be improved on VWO at the moment. I think their support personally sucks, to be honest. But I think they have a good enough product. It is not the best, like I said, but it is the best as it is at the moment in the market right now. From what I've seen, what took them from making $1 million a month to a $64 million per year is their product. They have multiple products. If you sign up for VWO today, you will see they have multiple products. So if I go to their website, you will see that there is A/B testing, they have behavior analytics, they have personalized rollouts. They have so many features, you'll be, paying forever. And that's what they do. They keep you in their algorithm. They keep you in their circle. They make you keep paying them, right? So whatever you need, they have it. You need more insights, they got it. You need more personalization, they got it. You need a different feature, they got it. You are a small business, they got it. You are an enterprise, they got it. So they pretty much have anything and everything you need. And I think that allowed them to keep the customer happy and keep them retained month after month. VWO had a perfect timing, to be honest. I think every business has some kind of perfect timing. They launched right around when the digital marketing was exploding. Facebook has just released Facebook ad. Google was just releasing Google ads. So the digital marketing space itself was booming at that time, and more SaaS were coming. And right after they came out, iOS app started coming more. So more people were visiting website on their cell phone, which was not happening in the past, right? So they came out on the right time, and they were able to capture a larger share of the market. And even back in 2023 or 2022, Google Optimize decided to shut them down. VWO seemed like the best option. Even Google itself was promoting VWO and few other companies. So that allowed them to really scale and be one of the top leaders in the industry. So that is the story about VWO. If you have any questions, let me know. And next time I'll see you with the next SaaS breakdown.